Well, here we go. My brother, what a fella. He commented on my video and he says, "What a low-key flex with all those blades you got there, brother." Well, good morning. My brother, what a wonderful fella he is. Watches my YouTube channel and says, "Flexing with all those blades there, guy." I was like, yeah, man. In the vein of his comment, I'm going to cut out the flashing. I picked up this thing from the dollar store. They're cheap and a little bit effective. And if I just take the flashing out of here, then it will be even more effective. So the idea is it holds on to my cellular phone and gives me this hands-free opportunity. And you tighten this nut onto the collar, and these are supposed to be fingers, and the fingers hold onto the knuckle, and then it's less likely to move around. But as it stands, when you tighten the nut, because of the flashing in here, it doesn't push the fingers against the knuckle, and therefore it flops around excessively. It's not a good hold. I took it biking, and my cell phone falls out of it all the time. Every which bump you go on, and it just poof, pops open and flies off. I could maybe thread something through here, but I don't think that's worth it. I think I'll just find a whole nother contraption to hold my cellular phone on my bike, or even upgrade and get another camera. But at this point, that's not really what the video is about. It's here to open up these fingers. So thank you to my brother. He picked up these blades a while back and he gave them to me. So here is another flex of my blades. They're nice. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Very kind of you. I don't use them much, but that's okay. I do use them on occasion. Now this came from my father, and I recently switched out the blades. So this is going to be a backwards and forwards video. So there's a spare blade in the back of the container here. Quite simple. Comes out and you can put that into the apparatus. That's just the spare blade holder. Here you release this nut, I guess, or bolt, whatever it is. You release this and then your blade slides. If you're going to use it, it slides forward. In our case, we're going to replace the blade, so we're going to pull it out backwards. And most often what will happen is you're going to snap these off as they become dull, and you're only going to have this little bit that's going to come out the back. And then you take your piece here. That's supposed to click against there, I guess. And then you pull out your brand new blade, which is nice and sharp. It's got some oil on it. And you fix it into place, just like so. Feed it back in. There's a channel that it slides into. Oh, it's noon. And that's that. Just careful this tip. Tighten it up. Good to go. Put our little holster back in. Bam. It is an imitation OLFA holder. Husky makes this one. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the the blades. Here is my flexing my blades. OLFA. Now, personally, I favor the Stanley 99E. I have them in about as many toolboxes as I have. Just keep picking them up. Stanley, if you want to encourage me with some monetary backing, that'd be awesome. And I will tell my listeners or my viewers or whatever it is, the viewers of mine, the viewers of me, because I don't own them in any way, shape, or form. But if you want to encourage me, I will propagate the idea of using this. And in fact, I'll even demonstrate it. Currently, just so you know, I have not yet received money from Stanley. I have only paid hardware stores to receive their equipment. Well, there's flashing. Used to work as a plastic injection molding guy, a small outfit in Brantford, Ontario. The taxes were outrageous, and so the guy up shop, and I believe he moved to Mississauga, but I don't rightly know. It's a shame because if the taxes were beneficial, he'd have stayed. It was a beautiful warehouse that was there, like a factory. It was massive. It had all the equipment there. Electric forklifts, powerful electric in the day when everything was propane. But he had an electric one, which is nice. Anyway, I digress. There's some flashing in here. So the person or the machine that was doing this is missing the quality control step to eliminate this flashing. And so once we purchase it, it's our job as the consumer to finish the manufacturing process. So we pay $4.50 when it could be $15 item. I don't know. I don't see there being a $15 price tag on this and justifying it. I personally wouldn't purchase it, but at $3.50, I can swallow that, and then even say 15% tax or 13% tax. Yes, this happens to now be in my possession. And this is how we remove the flashing. Take the Stanley 99E and come through and down. And you can follow the channel right down to the plate. You don't want to go through the plate, so use with control. And then on the other side, similar battle. Right along the channel to the plate. And then on the bottom, you can nip it with the tip, or sometimes what I'll do is I'll come in down along the side again, and I'll just twist. But be careful because these blades are brittle, and if you have twisting motion, they can snap. Their integrity is not in the twist, but their integrity is in driving, or whatever their strength. But that's basically what to do, because it's plastic, right? It's not metal or anything. The product is plastic. It's not metal, so it's not going to pose too many issues with the blade. But again, you just want to be gentle and delicate and safe and all that jazz. So there. And it's not my first one. I've done a couple prior to this. They're so poorly made that you can't just get one. You have to get several of them. So you end up paying roughly $15. All right, the refrigerator turned on. So I'm going to pause the video here. And the fridge is back, not running. Well, it's idle. So just keep working at it. Take off the flashing. And eventually you're going to have a product that is finished, like it should have been in the factory. So what's happening is it's now going to allow the fingers to close when the nut comes tighter onto it, and then it'll produce some friction, and then it won't flop around when you have your device, or when you have your object in the vise. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. So just keep plugging away, a little bit at a time. And then you just pull these things out. Sometimes there's more flashing than other places. So for $4, it gives you the opportunity to quality control the flashing out. What better thing do you want to do on a Thursday morning? Me personally, I want to think about the plot goal for my movie, and then work out the truth and the lie, and what lie is preventing the character from obtaining the truth, and who is not the villain, but who is the antagonist to the protagonist. Stuff like that. So while I do this mindless filtering out of the flashing, my mind plays with the movie and decides what elements are going to be played and how a scene is going to look and all that kind of jazz. I like jazz. All right, that's that. Now they come closer together as the nut goes down, and then other way around. When you open it up, they come further apart. That's that. So, switch the blade in the Husky from my dad. Thank you. Got the blades from my brother. Thank you. Low-key flex of, look at all those blades. And the Stanley 99E, the tool that is in nearly all of my bags, my tool bags. I got about 5 of them. I started with one, the green bag, and it was kind of a running joke. It was my purse. Every job that I went on, if I was to quote something, I'd bring it with me. Just had a few essentials. The Stanley 99E. I also had the Quick Pick and a Fat Max 15-foot tape, 10-foot standout. I had one of those testers for the outlet. It lets you know if the hot and the cold are swapped, or if the ground is continuous or faulty. Pencil, pen, stuff like that. And so I come saying that this is a good addition to a toolkit. If your dad needs something for a stocking stuffer, throw this in your dad's stocking. If he is a programmer, he'd be like, WTF. And because of this thing, I now carry a nickel in my pocket. So I've been doing this for years, decade. And the reason is it fits in this slot right there. And then you can open it up like this and swap out your blade. So yeah, this is the reason why I keep change in my pocket after all these years. So I didn't have change in my pocket because I just used digital, you know. You just tap your Interact card. And this is going way back into the late 90s. There was no need for me to carry cash. But when I was doing construction and I needed to switch a blade, instead of running over to my purse and getting out my quick pick, I thought, man, I've got this jar of nickels at home. I used to have pennies and nickels and quarters and dimes and loonies and toonies in jars. Because at the end of the day, if I paid cash, let's say I grabbed a 20 or what have you, and I went to the store and I bought milk and I got change, I'd just throw the change in my pocket. At the end of the day, I'd take all the stuff out of my pocket and I would sort the coins and put them in each jar respectively. But I didn't purposefully put money in my pocket. It was just always in my wallet. I'd have bills. And at the end of the day, I would sort it out. Well, it was this Stanley 9090. This is what a commercial. Stanley, you're lucky. What a freaking commercial. That I started carrying nickels in my pocket. So now I've got a nickel in my pocket. Right? I try to keep 2 nickels in my pocket. That way I can always say, I'm never too poor that I don't have 2 nickels to rub together. I like that. So here's some stuff for my movie. You know, this is the stuff that brings ideas to mind, scenes that I can put in the film that translate into the bigger picture. I got some tar on this one. Yeah, that's maybe some OCD coming through there. Anyway, thanks for putting your attention on this video. If you stuck around this long, man, I should give you a treat. I should give you something valuable. Nah, you just get me cleaning the knife with the nickel. All right, here's a good one. Just the other day, there was a kangaroo that escaped from the zoo in North Oshawa, and he was running around for like 3 days, and they finally caught him, the OPP, or maybe it was the local Durham police, I can't remember. And my friend Johnny worked with him a bit. He TikToks me. No, he didn't. He Marco Polo'd me. Yeah, he Marco Polo's me, and he says, that kangaroo was hopping around in North Oshawa for a while. They finally caught him. It's a marsupial, right? Where they have a pouch, and it's a specific type of animal, mainly found in Australia, marsupials. Because a koala bear is a marsupial as well. Why do they give it the title of a bear? Ends the Marco Polo. So I'm thinking about it. The fridge compressor kicked in, so I shouldn't really record while it's going. Anyway, I'll carry this on through to the end. So he Marco Polos me after about 5 minutes, and he says, because it just doesn't qualify. So there you have it. Thanks for sticking around to the end.